Hey, Jane.
Hi.
You won't believe the great deals I got downtown today. Okay, so check this out. This is from that adorable boutique with all the great clothes. Don't you think it's perfect for the high school reunion?
Yeah.
And look at these. They cost a fortune, but they're so hot. I love them. And new dress, new shoes, you need a new bag.
Yeah.
I saw Jennifer Lopez carrying one just like it in one of those movie magazines.
Girl, you're gonna be looking fabulous, but how can you afford all this stuff? It's really expensive.
That's what credit cards are for, my friend. I'll pay it off a little at a time. I wanted a little treat. I work hard and I think I deserve it. Besides, everything was on sale.
Yeah, but those credit card charges really add up over time. And all to buy stuff you don't really need. I mean, that's a great outfit, but you already have more clothes than anybody I know. What about that house you said you always wanted?
Oh, get real. I can never afford a house.
It may seem like that, but if you saved up a little over time, you would be surprised what you can afford.
But I can never save any money. It takes my whole paycheck just to pay my monthly bills. And then whatever I have left over, I wouldn't buy a sofa, much less a whole house. So why not spend it on clothes? You know I love new clothes. And I deserve something for all of my hard work.
I hear you, Kim, but it is possible to save, even on your salary. I know it doesn't seem like enough to matter at first, but if you make a habit of saving money each week, those small amounts saved up over time can really add up.
I'm sure you're right, but at the end of the month, I just don't have any money left.
Well, that's your first mistake. Don't wait until the end of the month to see what's left. None of us ever have any money at the end of the month. At the beginning of the month, you have to sit down and you need to look at your income and your expenses and figure out how much you think you can afford to save and take that money out first.
That way it's not in your purse, not even that very beautiful, expensive purse, in order to tempt you to use it on other things. I even have my paycheck goes straight into the bank. And I have my employer put some of the money into the savings account, so I never even see it. I also use a change jar. I put money in at the end of the week and every day actually, and after a while I have $50 saved up. I put that into my savings account too.
I guess I could do that. It doesn't seem that hard.
And once it's in the savings account, it earns interest. That means my money is actually working for me.
But $50 over a couple of months, that's not that much.
That's just the beginning. I really want to buy a condo, so I've gotten really serious about my saving. I work too hard to spend my money on frivolous things.
What do you mean by frivolous?
Remember how I used to go to the coffee shop every day? It was my little treat to myself. On my way to the bus stop, I'd stop at the coffee shop for a muffin and a chai. It was my reward for getting up and going to work. But when I started saving, I took a look at what I was spending on my chai habit. It came to over $3 a day. That's $15 a week, $750 over the course of a year. I certainly didn't budget that much when I began to think about how I wanted to spend my money this year.
Come to think of it, I like to go to the deli for a diet soda and a pack of gum. That's almost $3 right there.
See, you know how much those little rewards cost us?
Yeah.
When I was thinking about my condo, I really wanted that much more than I wanted my chai and muffin.
I wouldn't even know how to get started.
When I decided to cut my spending, I first looked at things that wouldn't make a difference in my life. I used to buy lunch at the cafeteria every day. It was $5 for a sandwich and $1 for a bottle of water. That was $6 a day, $30 a week, and more than $1,500 a year. So now, I make my sandwich at home, which I love, and fill up a water bottle each day from the tap.
And I also thought about, you know how I used to have 3 air conditioners going on? I mean, I get really hot in here, but now I only use one. I use the one in the bedroom, and I have fans out here, and I'm perfectly comfortable. And in the winter, I'm keeping my house cooler. Given the cost of fuel oil, I mean, exorbitant. So I just wear a sweater in the house, you know?
I suppose I could make my own sandwich. But every now and then I just really crave that Reuben sandwich they make in the cafeteria in my building.
Look, I'm not saying you can never have another Reuben sandwich, but over the long haul, would you rather have the Reuben or a better car and a nice home?
In fact, I got so serious about saving that I even made Frank make some lifestyle changes.
Really?
I know. He was smoking a pack a day, which was $5 a day. No, smoking expensive. Oof. No, $5 a day. $35 a week, which is over $1,600 a year.
That's crazy.
I know. So, I'm really glad he quit. I mean, both for the condo and also for his health. I also made him sell that gas guzzler.
Wow. Jane, you are really into this savings mentality. You're a regular Susie Orman. I can't believe you talked Frank into giving up his cigarettes and that SUV.
It's really not as hard as you think once you get your mind around it. It makes me think more about how I'm spending my money. And every time I say no to some little treat, I realize I am getting that much closer to what I really want.
Still, it takes a lot of money to be able to save enough for a down payment on a condo.
It does, but you would be surprised how fast the time goes when you see your dream coming closer to reality every week. It is hard to save with all the pressure from advertisers to buy. I have to really restrain myself, but every time we reach a certain point, Frank and I, we celebrate in a little way to congratulate ourselves on getting that much closer to our goal. When we got our tax refunds back and hit the $5,000 mark, for example, we treated ourselves to a concert we both really wanted to see. But that was an exception. The next day we went back to work on our plan.
Wow, you guys are really disciplined. When I got my tax refund, I just went out and spent it. And if I don't have cash, I just use my credit cards.
Those credit card charges can really add up. You can put yourself into a financial hole.
Okay, I know you're right. All right, so how do I get started? This is all so much for me.
Well, I can tell you how I started. I kind of took a step back and really analyzed how I spent my money. I did it by breaking my spending into two categories: the things I need, like rent, food, utilities, car payment, and car insurance, and the things I want: eating out, taking a vacation, and that iPod I'd like to buy.
Okay, I can do that.
Then I figured out the minimum I needed to get through the month for housing, transportation, food, entertainment, and cash. I did include money for some fun things. No one would stick with it if there weren't some chances for rewards, but I was very careful and selective about those rewards. You can borrow a video from the library for free. I can paint my own fingernails, and they show the same TV programs on my old TV as they do on the new flat screen TV. So I tried to minimize the money I was spending for those non-essential things so I would be able to set money aside for what I really wanted.
This sounds hard, like a diet. Just giving up all the things you like.
I know, it can be hard at first. And I would get upset with myself at first because I would go over budget. But then I realized that it was okay to splurge once in a while as long as I knew what I needed and my goals.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but I still don't know how I'm going to start.
What if you set your budget at 90% of what you're taking home? That's what I did. And the other 10% I put in my savings account. You think you could do that?
I think that sounds okay.
Right?
I think I can do that. All right. All right, you've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna take back the dress. Even though Malcolm Harris is going to be at the reunion. And I'll take back the bag. But I have my limits. I am keeping these shoes because I love them too much.
Well, now that you're keeping the shoes, can I borrow them?
I'll think about it.
Bye.